Hello there, Tyrant here, and I just finished watching episode 9 of Citrus. And so, it didn't. It started up like a very intense episode, and it progressed so until it just kind of felt a little lackluster at the end. Because as you remember, I don't think I did a reaction video last week. Not because I didn't want to, there was a lot of things happening, but um, if you watched episode 8 with the whole date scene, at the end it ended with oh shoot, what's the name of the little girl, the pink haired girl, and May at the school at night, um the day before Christmas Eve, I believe. It's around that time, and there it starts up there. And there's whole scene of like threats and blackmail, and it's really intense, like really intense, uh where the pink haired girl literally is blackmailing May to kind of meet up with a gentleman, uh you know in exchange for not being able to post the photo of what happened last week of May kissing her, uh and that will just kind of destroy her family and stuff like that, and mostly the reputation of the school and stuff like that. So it's really intense. And all this time, like throughout the episode, I would say more or less, uh, like three-fourths of the episode, Yuzu is kind of just like oblivious to this, uh, and it's a little daunting, but it's the way Yuzu's character is designed. She's happy-go-lucky. She puts a lot of trust in people. She wants to have faith in people. That's what makes her her, and she herself, and seems like everyone else around her accepts that. And it's interesting in a character, but it's kind of disheartening when well, no, it works mostly because when someone you care about is hurting and you don't notice yourself at that point. Um, but that also kind of hurts the end of this episode in a way. I'll get to that, because throughout the episode, Yuzu's kind of really excited about this Christmas party with her younger sister May for the first time as a family. This is what she's been waiting for, and she's making this homemade sponge cake, and she's working her butt off. But May can't make it due to the blackmail, and so when I think her name's Matsuru. I'll remember her name because she'll be coming back surprisingly, in a way. Um, um, you know, they end up Yuzu and I think her name's Matsuri. Uh, end up going on on their date and everything, and Yuzu keeps talking about May, and this frustrates and angers Matsuri. God damn it, I'll remember her name eventually. But it really like gets to her, like, why aren't you liking me? Because her character is very self-absorbed, and like, as much as I dislike her character, it not because I dislike her actual general character. I dislike her as a person, because that, and I like that about her because she's designed reasonably well, but they kind of ruin her a little bit at the end. Um, so it kind of frustrates me that they kind of ruined such a very chaotic character. Um, that's kind of that. I'll explain a little bit in a bit, but there's this whole thing, and when Yuzu finally finds out what. Okay, here. Okay, no, yeah, I'll get into it now. The moment that Yuzu finally finds out, in a way, what Matsuri did, there was a bit of anger, yes, and there was some realization, a little bit of of it's not retaliation, but literal butting heads, and what frustrated me was how how little impacts or anger was being done, or from Yuzu's perspective of what she did to her sister May. I understand that yes, this is a person that used to be someone as close to as your little sister growing up, but it's so frustrating when they did that, something like heinous to a family member as well. You know, even though they've only been there for together, but you know, she's grown very attached to them, and it frustrated me when all it was literally butting heads, and later on too. But you know, Yuzu goes out and tries to hunt Mei down, and it does kind of works out. It kind of just that scene in itself, because I was like wondering, like, are they really gonna do a scene with Mei kind of hooking up with another dude? I was wondering that, like, is that gonna happen? Because you see the guy show up, and that in itself is left like open ended. We don't know if that happened or not. It just is what it is. So, like, okay. So it's implied that she did or didn't. It's literally shorter to their box. So on that one, um, but you know, after finding her and all that, this is what like kind of for me felt kind of destroyed such a character that I disliked. Um, you know, so at the end, in a way, they did forgive Matsuri. Not just Mei. No, yeah, not just Mei and Yuzu. It's weird because what she did is, was like really bad. Like, she's literally blackmailing and prostituting someone else, and like, come on, uh, it's yeah, it's so, and just to kind of simply forgive her at the end, in a way, that's where it got me. Like, really, can you not have been more stricter or more more angry in such a situation? You know, that's where it for me, it ruined such a good character. Like, you should have been more upset, or vice versa, her some upset with them. We did get a little reflection from her when Mei and Matsuri are talking. You know how they themselves are like similar in a way, and after they spoke, it you could tell in a way they are similar, but their actions are, for the most part, distinctly very different. So that's the only thing that can sadly rationalize that, is Yuzu's kind of carefreeness, and she herself note that is kind of a flaw in her, but it's something that both Mei and Matsuri kind of need, is someone whose love is really done. And there are some other like fun jokes, I would say, like the whole threesome thing. But like I said, it kind of just ruined it when the character was just kind of, for me, ruined. Um, and that's kind of just my opinion on that. Um, and it ended in such a, I would say, increasingly passionate moment. Uh, as they're like sitting at the couch eating yuzu sponge cake Christmas night. So yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll leave it at that. Uh, Yeah, that's a lot to say in this episode. So, thanks again for watching. Until next time.